Howdy, it's your buddy Big Ed. Gonna do something a little different today because I was thinking, I have a bunch of friends that do killer gear demos, and I don't mean like the usual suspects that started this whole phenomenon, I don't know, 10 years ago. I'm talking people who I think really kind of uniquely have developed their own style and their own way of presenting things that make me interested in what they're presenting and are not like all the old timers. Namely Ian at Collector Emitter, Ryan at Demos in the Dark, my buddy at Edge of Breakup. You know who you are. Pretty consistently, these guys and a few others compel me to look into new devices, and I think they do it better than anybody, better than me. It's not what I do. I make music, right? But what I'd like to say here is, I know there are some devices that I am fortunate enough, maybe because I'm sitting here working all day in the studio and something gets released at a specific time and I'm not at a 9-to-5 job, so I can pull the trigger if I get lucky, because a lot of these things, as we all know, get sold out real quick, and get my hands on them. On other occasions, I know the builders really well. I have a ongoing relationship with them. I may even help develop things, and I get my hands on things that way. So what I'm getting at is, if there's stuff in particular, I would pay particular attention to my Instagram, because I'll post every new thing I get to my Instagram. But if there's anything in particular that you see me post on my Instagram or use in a video of actual music making that you want me to demo, I will do that. But for the most part, there are other people that are just way better at this, because, my main instrument now is, for the music, the instrumental music I make is the lap steel. I do play some electric guitar, but in weird tunings and stuff, and it just won't translate for most people. So there are just people who are better at doing that. I just don't think the lap steel is good. For me, it's great for demonstrating what I need to hear from a pedal, but not maybe for the masses. Let's just put it that way. So I just don't think I'm really good at it. But I will be happy to do demos of something that you may see me post elsewhere, so that you can at least hear it, because many times you wouldn't get that chance. But for the rest of the stuff, check out Collector Emitter, Edge of Breakup, Demos in the Dark. Those guys are awesome. That's who I watch. You know what I mean? So what I want to do today is my favorite pedals / builders. I won't get into every pedal, because some of the pedals are on multiple pedal boards, but so basically my top pedal builders in the world. Like, to me, this is what rocks my world and what makes me want to make music, okay? Let's start. Oops, I forgot one. I'm back. Let's start with the builder who endlessly makes me happy and makes my job so much easier, and that is Richard at Monsterpiece. I've got so many Monsterpiece fuzzes and overdrives. Richard, here's the deal. I have no idea why more people don't know about Richard or take advantage of his creations. And here's why. His work is impeccable. If you open these things up to look at the wiring, It's like, a NASA scientist put it together. It's so clean and so precise and so electronically excellent. There's none better. There are equals, for sure, but there's none better than Richard at Monsterpiece in putting together pedals. He knows his stuff. Henry Kaiser and I have talked about this recently, which is why I decided to do this, is, we were talking about some pedal that somebody was looking for, and we're like, why don't they just call Richard and have him build it? Because it'll be cheaper, it'll be excellent, as good, if not better, than what they were looking for, and you can tell him precisely what you want. You want little tweaks to it, you want something special, whatever. Richard will do that for you because he's an excellent dude. He's a sweetheart, so easy to work with. He wants you to be happy, and he will give you exactly what you need. I can't tell you how many records I've made with these pedals that he's, sold me, and a couple he's gifted me over the years. This thing, the PMP Deluxe, this has got these special Russian transistors in it, but even the stock one is insane because I've had both of these. It's on so many records, and everybody's like, oh, how did you get that sound, Richard at Monsterpiece. A friend of mine said, oh, I'm looking for a Zonk machine. I'm like, well, why are you going to pay $750 for one? There's like 5 parts in the damn thing, and Richard can do it, and he can do it as well as anybody. He knows how to choose transistors. He knows how to make sure that all the elements are correct, and he just knows his stuff. And he does it at a very reasonable price. Richard at Monsterpiece. Now, number 2, and I'm only going to show one pedal, but I've got a bunch of his pedals. David Rollo, Mr. Drollo, my brother from another mother, David Rollo. Everybody knows about the Stamen. Everybody wants a Stamen. They're hard to get. He builds them one at a time. Like Richard at Monsterpiece, it's a one-guy operation. He's building one at a time. But these are all unique and highly versatile, incredibly creative devices. From the Stamen to the Molecular Disruptor to his Twin Peaks tremolo, which is like the best tremolo on the market, to his Giant Hogweed. I've had all of these. The Giant Hogweed is by far the best octave, upper and lower octave, and yes, it tracks great even on the lower octave, fuzz distortion pedal out there. It's just the best. And David's the best. Everything he makes is incredible and brilliant. I love the guy. Of course, he's also behind the Mood at Chase Bliss Mood. That was a collaboration with Old Blood Noise and Chase Bliss and Drollo. Chase Bliss's top-selling pedal of all time. You know what I mean? David is brilliant. The Dream, the Stretch Weaver that he came out with that people can't get their hands on enough. There's a reason. It's because he knows what makes things awesome. Awesome. Drollo. I can't have a board without a Drollo. I can't have a board without a Monsterpiece, but definitely cannot have a board without a Drollo. Okay. Next, and I've got about 5 of these of Alexander's pedals, but Matthew at Alexander. Matthew, I've said it before on social media, Matthew is a flippin' genius. Every one of his devices have secondary functions, have the Neo switches now, all the current models. So you can save presets. You can do 4 presets on board or up to 120 or whatever presets with MIDI and 16 with switching. They all have secondary functions on the ramp switch, so you can set the settings to be one thing and then hit the ramp switch and it ramps up to a whole nother setting. I mean, what more do you want from a builder that gives you these options? I've got, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different Alexander pedals, maybe more. Because they're all super duper crazy, fantastic, brilliant. I have at least one Alexander pedal on every board. These are the only two that are not on a board right now, but I swap things out frequently. I mean, Matthew, this guy is trying to help you be more creative. Another amazing builder. Everything he makes. Next, okay, yeah, I know this is like shooting fish in a barrel, but my buddies at Chase Bliss. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different Chase Bliss pedals. This is the latest. It's not on a board yet, but it may be soon. The Bliss Factory. So the mood, I have 2 moods. I have the big reverb slider. I have the preamp slider. I have the Condor. I have the Thermae. Can't live without the Thermae. I mean, yeah. So you might say, oh, they're expensive, but they do so much. And with the dip switches and the presets and, I mean, come on. There is value in these pedals. And again, they're wildly creative and they give you ideas. They take you to new realms. They make you do things you wouldn't do before, create things that weren't possible before, do it easier, sound better. Like that Condor pedal, that pedal is a sleeper. It's insane what that pedal can do. From like wah to tremolo to preamp to filter, gain, overdrive, whatever. All of their pedals do these amazing, incredible things and make my job easier. I mean, yes, I use the faves, you know, because to have 3 to 6 presets, which is usually more, that's about all I would need anyway. And the secondary functions and expression, you know, it was only, believe it or not, like a few years ago, I started using expression pedals a lot more and the things you can do. And they thought of this. Chase Bliss Audio. Now, one more. Oh, 2 more. What? Couple more. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about my buddy Tom Cram. This is my sort of signature pedal, the Noadi, which is Sami for shaman. Tom makes super unique fuzzes and overdrives. Sometimes they're based on things, but a lot of the most recent models of his are either extensions or complete new inventions of, or at least new inventions of old ideas. And they're always better than what you knew before. So I have 5 of Tom's pedals. They're all amazing. They all sound incredible. He never releases anything that doesn't sound ridiculous, like off the charts, great. Plug it in and go, wow, this guy took a lot of time by hand, one at a time, to tune these things and find something that works. That's my buddy Tom Cram. So major props to Tom. And just 2 more. Pladask Elektrisk, because I'm Norwegian. No, but not just because I'm Norwegian, but because every single thing Pladask makes, I've had the Ramferd, the token delay, the drum, the back fram. I had the, what was the thing before the back fram? Back vent. had the back vent, the back fram. I have the Feber ring mod thingy. I mean, this guy is another innovator that makes things that don't sound like anything else and are incredibly useful and highly creative. That's the ongoing theme here, highly creative devices. That's what I like. Pladosk, I have a ton of them for good reason. They work, they're unique, they sound fantastic. Pladosk Elektrisk, I know they're hard to get a hold of. He's trying to do something about that, but they're worth it. They're just not like anything else. And last but not least, this may be my favorite pedal of all time. Is it the best pedal of all time? I don't know. But it's definitely the most useful pedal of all time. So therefore, it's an incredible value because it does so much and it does so much well. And it was actually one of the first big, I mean, I'd had pedals before, but it was the first one that made me go, whoa, okay, the possibilities of what can be done here are pretty outrageous. So it's probably my top pedal of all time for that reason. Is it the best pedal of all time? I don't know. But it's my top pedal of all time because if you get it, I know I can recommend this to you. And if you spend your hard-earned money on this, you're going to get your money's worth and then some and find endless uses for it for a long, long time. The Eventide H9. Every time I think, oh, I don't need that anymore. No, I need that because I think I've got like 23 presets on a Disaster Area, also Matthew Farrow company switcher. I can switch through, you know, I can create these presets in their software and I could have 100 presets and switch through that with a Disaster Area DMC device switcher. But you know, normally I have about 23 presets. And I can change those preset lists for whatever gig I'm doing. So if I'm doing a rock gig, I can have my rock gig presets, boom, 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 all in order. So I can switch through them up and down with the DMC device from Disaster Area. If I'm doing a free improv gig, if I'm doing a singer-songwriter gig, I can switch through it. I mean, it's got great tremolo, it's got great modulation, it's got great reverbs, it's got great delays, it's got great ring mod, it's got everything. And they all sound solidly great. Some better than others, but solidly great. And I've created some presets on this device that are just you're not able to do on other devices because of the app. So I can honestly say that this is the most useful #1 pedal of all time because you're going to get everything you need out of it. All of them are going to be solid to spectacular in sound and in between. None of them suck. And you can make presets and switch between them. And if you don't have a separate switcher, you can switch through using the foot switch. It could just only go up. All right. So those are my recommendations. I think with my experience with pedals, it's far more useful for me to give you my insight, my wisdom from my pedaldom, my pedal whoredom, my obsession, and pass that on to you. I think that could be way more useful. You have any questions? Let 'em rock. I'll see you next time.